Hey guys, so to celebrate the new year, I wanted to look at my entire year in review and of course bring you guys along with me. A lot of great things happened this year, but also a lot of shit things. However, I'm coming into 2018 better than ever and I'm still alive and I've made it through every single one of these challenges that I faced this year. So I just wanted to really remember what I've made it through, and yeah, so let's take a look. In January, I was struggling with alcoholism and I went through my first ever withdrawals, which was absolute hell. I was drinking on a daily basis. I did however get a job, which was a door-to-door sales job, but it was so shit and I ended up quitting because the job was so shit and also I didn't want to show up to work drunk. It was in January that I was really coming to terms with being transgender and I was not dealing with it well, as you can tell because I was fucking drinking to forget. Being transgender isn't a trend. Being transgender is rather having it all end and face the dysphoria that confines you to your bed and struggle through the crippling judgment screaming through your head. I did actually read a journal entry recently that I had written in January, and it said something like, I wish I didn't start drinking to forget because now I drink and just remember. In February, I was considering taking down my YouTube channel because I felt like I was failing in all aspects of life and I didn't want my subscribers to suffer as well. I was very depressed and still drinking every day. On the 5th of February, I went to a house party of a buddies of mine and it was a fucking great party. We had fucking strippers, there was epic music, we literally went to the park and set off fireworks and ran from locals. I had never felt more alive in my life, which is ironic considering the next part because I had way too much of everything and I ended up overdosing and I didn't want to tell anyone. My heart was racing and I was really scared, but just before I was about to leave the party, my friend snapped this photo of me. This photo is super hard for me to look at because I was really scared and I could feel myself overdosing and I didn't know what to do. My movements were so slow, but when they had the camera on me, I'm a fucking idiot and I don't tell anyone when I am in pain or when I need a fucking emergency. So I put up my thumbs and mustered a smile and tried to look okay. I was so scared, dude. It's really hard to look at that photo. After that photo was taken, I left the party and attempted to walk home, where I collapsed at midnight, maybe past midnight, in a park, and it was dark and cold and very lonely and I couldn't breathe. I was really fucking scared. That was the worst night of my whole life because I could feel myself dying and I'd never felt more alone or scared. So my stepdad ended up calling the ambulance and I went to hospital, and after that night my dad and stepdad stepped in and decided that it was time for me to change. Honestly, after that night I had never been more suicidal in my life because I saw just how much I was hurting my dad and my stepdad and everyone around me with my alcohol problem. In March, I moved in with my dad and stepdad so they could monitor me and make sure that I couldn't drink. Even though I had a lot of opportunities to drink when I went on walks and things like that, I had any opportunity in the world to go to the store and buy some alcohol, but I never did because it wasn't that I didn't want to let myself down, because I could not care less about myself at that time. It was that I didn't want to let my dad down. I just didn't want to disappoint him. It was in March that my dad sent me to my auntie's house, which I call my rehab, because there was a lot of kind of counselling between me and my auntie, which I'm so thankful for. I was allowed to drink at beer o'clock, however I seldom did. My dad knows me so well because even though it wasn't a legit rehab where I was like, I don't know, locked in a room and not allowed out until I was fully sober, being with my auntie's family and seeing the children and seeing how successful their life is just made me realize, well fuck, life is fucking beautiful, isn't it? It really changed everything, and it was when I realized that life was fucking beautiful, that was when I really wanted to stop drinking and change. It was also in this month that I released my coming out as transgender video and also came out to my dad and stepdad, and they were super accepting of it, which made it a hell of a lot easier for me to accept it about myself. For once, I've finally felt God. I've finally felt happy with who I am, and I feel like I don't need to be anyone else besides myself. Also, on a side note, I became super obsessed with Musical.ly. In April, I was still living with my dad and my stepdad, and I was really lonely because I didn't have any friends in Melbourne. I had just lost my apartment, I just lost my best friend the last Christmas, and I was dealing with me being trans, and I suddenly had no outlet of alcohol, so I was really fucking sad. Can't it stay this way as long as we remain a victim to our wants? But I got really sick of being sad and wanting to die every day, so I got myself to a doctor and got prescribed antidepressants, and they started working, and I started getting really into fitness, and I also got my second job, which was a call sales centre, which was also very shit, and I ended up quitting within a week. So the reason that I'm calling today is that we're trying to get some community-minded businesses on board. In May, I moved in with my buddy Des, and I will literally never be able to repay Des and her family for taking me in and taking care of me, because they literally saved me. Because I was suddenly with a friend, I wasn't so lonely anymore, and I stopped being suicidal, and I stopped drinking, and by that I mean not drinking every day, but back to drinking once every couple of months if I feel like it. But most importantly, I remembered what it was like to be happy, and I missed that. In June, I made a killer CMV to Killing Stalking with my buddy Luca, and it got over 23,000 views, and it's still, I call that one of my biggest YouTube accomplishments. It was also in this month that Luca moved to America. However, he is coming back in 2018, and trust me, I will be here with the biggest hug to welcome him back. Despite so many big things that happened this year, I'm calling July my favourite and my biggest month of all, because it was the month in which Des and I discovered our OCs and decided to create a web series out of them, and it is now one of my greatest passions in life.
The girls are on me.
In August, I discovered Wicca and started trying really hard to be a better person. I've been a really shit person, and I have a lot of regret, especially making my dad and my stepdad worry so much. I also met so many beautiful people in Melbourne, and I'm so sad that they never got to see the real me because I was always drunk and fucked up. But Wicca has really helped me to live a happier and more fulfilling life. It was also in this month that I went to Smash, made a heap of new friends, wrote my first song about being transgender, and also got my first YouTube brand partnership. If you guys want a discount, don't forget to check out my code in the description below. In September, Des and I went to visit my family, and I'm so happy that they could finally see me happy, because last time I saw them I was just so sad and they couldn't see who I really was. That holiday was one of the best in my life. We saw one of my favourite artists live, we went to a theme park, we got to see my family, but it was just a really great time to spend time with people I love, and especially my best bro. Also in this month we went to Comic Con, but we just lobby-conned, and I also reached 2,000 subscribers on my YouTube. In October, I rediscovered my passion for crafts. I also went to a milk bath photo shoot, and I originally wasn't going to be in it because it was planned for Des, but I wanted to step out of my comfort zone, and I did, and I was super uncomfortable. However, my friends Des and Hannah made me feel nothing but confident in my own body. Also, they commented on how shocked they were that my body looked so masculine without clothes on. It was honestly one of the biggest confidence boosts ever. In November, I started my diploma of screen and media. I also got my sweet ass camera. I broke my phone, and I had to live in the dark ages for about 2 weeks, and we also saw the death of an icon, Noob. Rest in peace. And finally, December. I lost a good friend of mine, which really took its toll on me and my dad. It was super hard, but I feel because of the space I'm in and my mental state, I was able to recover quickly. Death is really fucking hard, but you just gotta keep on going, you know? This month has been absolutely crazy with Vlogmas. I have been feeling guilty all year because I feel like I'm not putting in 100% into YouTube, but then I wonder, what is 100%? Is it staying up all night to edit something, or is it filming and uploading every day, or is it spending $200 just to review an item? I've just always been uncertain about it, but I feel like with Vlogmas I've finally gotten a taste of what 100% is, and I now know my limits and know myself and my YouTube better. I also feel like I can definitely make better videos more often, which is fantastic. I'm literally just dying. And the year how I started it. Drunk. I can't believe I just said that. I was trying to make a joke, but that's really serious. Also kind of funny because I did plan on drinking. I'm not an alcoholic anymore, I swear. Overall, this year has been relatively kind to me. I know a lot of people that have been fucked over by 2017, and even though a lot of shit things happen, I feel like this has been a really great year. I've been through a lot of shit situations, but I've learned from every single one of them, and I feel like I'm coming into 2018 with a lot more life lessons. Here are some other things that happened. I made some great friends and rediscovered just how much I love people. I listened to some great tunes. I did a lot of cosplay. I hit a lot of my personal milestones. I drank a lot of coffee, and let me put that into perspective for you. I have on average 2 coffees a day, which is 730 coffees a year, or 182.5 litres of coffee. No regret. But most importantly, this year I feel like I've really found myself. Megan and I used to talk about how we always wanted to go on a journey of self-discovery, but we never had money to do anything. I feel like through circumstance this year I've really found myself. I know that I am Alan, I know that I'm a transgender guy, I know that I like girls, but I will do gay shit every now and then. My favourite music genre is hip-hop. I really love snapbacks. I really love high tops. And I want a 6-pack so bad. I know that I'm a pussy friend who puts thoughts into the gifts I get people, and I really like to make people feel better. I know I get scared when it thunderstorms, which is fucking ridiculous, but it happens. I know that I've got a stupid sense of humour, and my roommate is my best friend, and I want everyone I know to succeed. I also know that I want to work in the film industry, and it's one of my biggest dreams to have my own production team. It's just a really good feeling to know yourself and know your place. So with my year reviewed, analysed and accepted, and my New Year's resolution sorted, here's to 2018. Thank you to everyone who has stuck with me all this time and who continues to support me. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave me a like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell so you get notified every single time I upload. Okay, bye. Me apart! It's the last video of the year. I can't not do it.